Welcome to Speedrun, the fast-talking video game podcast where we talk about anything weird or retro that interests us. I am your co-host, Jazzie. Boom.
And I'm your other co-host, Jamie. You got it better, you know, like... You're better at using words than I am.
All that hashtag broadcasting experience.
Gotta use that broadcast voice.
Oh god, I don't want to use my broadcasting voice.
But today we're actually veering into a bit of game development, as we have honestly one of my favorite game devs, responsible for one of my favorite games in the past decade, I should say, Freedom Planet, and that of course is Sabrina DiDuro.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Hey.
hello.
Hello.
So, Sabrina, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, it's no problem. It's Friday.
It is
Yes.
Friday.
It's Friday. You got to get down on Friday.
Yeah.
I was going with It's Friday, I'm in love, but we can go with Rebecca Black over The Cure.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of the Yakuza dance.
Yeah. All right. So, can you tell us, for the uninitiated, a little bit about who you are, what you do, and about Freedom Planet, which is widely loved by not only, I think, most of our listeners and most of our Discord, but just in general.
Okay. I am Sabrina. I live in upstate New York, where I have a game studio. We have team members all across the U.S. and some outside of the U.S. as well. And our studio is GalaxyTrail. We've published a few games so far, but our in-house franchise is Freedom Planet, which is like a mascot platformer with an emphasis on speed and combat.
And for those who haven't played the game, would it be fair to say Sonic the Hedgehog meets Mega Man X with a hint of Gunstar Heroes?
Yeah, it's
good
been
call.
described in the past as what would happen if Treasure made a Sonic game. And I think that's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah, that's a really, really good description, wow.
Yeah, that nails it. That absolutely nails it. So, if you're cool with me going ahead and starting our timer as a speedrun tradition for 15.
Absolutely.
The first thing I gotta ask is, so what I think is one of I guess not a very well-kept secret in gaming is Freedom Planet actually originally began as a Sonic fan game.
That it did.
So how did you go from I want to make a fan game, making a fan game demo, to turning that into a completely original property that has an identity of its own? I'd say especially so with the upcoming FP2 that very much so has an identity of its own.
Yeah, growing up, I had ties within the Sonic community, and especially like in the fan gaming community, where they do a lot of like research and reverse engineering into the original Sega Genesis Sonic games. And I was experimenting with one of the custom engines that was made. And with some encouragement from my friends, we pretty quickly turned that into an original IP that like took heavy inspiration from the classic Sonic the Hedgehog physics, but put its own spin on it. Like, for example, instead of jumping on enemies, you attack them with punches and kicks, and the controls at lower speeds are a lot more tight. Like when you compare it to Sonic, who controls more like a ball, where like he's very heavy when you're traveling at a slow speed, and Sonic levels are more designed to maintain your momentum. Whereas in our case, since we integrated combat into the gameplay, and we have more complex bosses and stuff, the controls are a lot more tight, like much like a Mega Man character.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I couldn't really like put my finger on it, but playing it and then going back to the Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog games, I was like, something's different, and I like Freedom Planet more, but I can't tell what it is, and that's exactly what it was. You're finding so many words I just cannot place today. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, the character of Lilac specifically, she was there from the beginning, wasn't she?
Yes, that's correct.
So, the other characters, such as Brevin particularly, was he originally Robotnik in the original version, or how exactly did that change happen?
Yeah, the only time that Robotnik was ever in the game was before I replaced the signpost graphics. But that was fixed pretty quickly. And
gotcha.
Brevin's creation actually predates the dragon version of Lilac by a few years, actually. Like, he was originally a Neopets fan character.
No
What?
way.
That's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of love that, though. Like,
And like,
I'm here for that.
Yeah, like Neopets, when it first started out, it used to be geared more towards college students, and a lot of its like plot lines had more serious themes, so that's kind of where it came from. And then once the site got bought out by Viacom and they started focusing on more kid-friendly content, then I felt like the character wasn't really fit for it anymore. So I fleshed him out into something like fully original.
Gotcha.
I really love that, though.
It's a very specific question about the development process. Obviously, Freedom Planet started as a Sonic fan game, and you mentioned using some of the custom tool sets that the Sonic community had built. On Wikipedia, it says Freedom Planet was built on a Clickteam Fusion, and I have not seen that name in forever. And I got really, really excited when I saw Clickteam Fusion again after I don't know how many years of not even thinking about it. What was the process there in deciding to use that engine?
Basically experience. Like, I'd been using Clickteam's tools ever since I was a little kid, so I was very used to their quirks and such. It's definitely a good program to use if you're just starting out, or if you have a smaller project that needs to be quickly prototyped. I wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to release something outside of PC, though, because it doesn't natively support any other platforms unless you pay for third-party extensions, and even then they don't perform very well. So I'm grateful that we were able to commission a third party to help us convert it to run on the consoles.
Yeah, I was going to say the port list is really, really impressive. Not only to OS X and Linux, which, yes, awesome, but also Wii U, PS4, and Switch. And that's like a really impressive like distribution.
Oh, yes. And it wasn't cheap either, but it was ultimately worth it to bring our game to that whole new audience of fans.
Mm-hmm.
With some of those that help as well, getting a publisher involved, like if I'm right, the PS4 version, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, was published by Xseed?
Yes. Yeah, they helped a lot with that because they already had accounts with Sony, and they knew the process in and out, and they had their own testing and QA team that worked with the programmers who were porting it to console.
Awesome.
So that of course the revenue share there is like well more than half that they receive, but it's ultimately still worth it because without their help we wouldn't have gotten on the consoles in the first place.
And I guess going back to Clickteam Fusion, you mentioned using that since you were a kid. Does that include Click and Play?
Yep, Click and Play was my first game
Yeah.
software. I remember my parents buying this like CD from a thrift store that had like 1,000 games on it, and one of them was made with Click and Play, and it had like a splash screen when you close the program, and that's how I found out about it.
Huh.
So how do you go? How do you end up first getting Click and Play, and then evolving from Click and Play to Fusion? To I don't know if you're still using Fusion for FP2 or not, but
No, we're using Unity now.
Gotcha.
That's good. But basically, how do you sorry, I'm trying to find my words. How long did that evolution take, and what was it like?
Well, I got Click and Play when I was 11, and started working on the original Freedom Planet when I was 19. And the Click and Play was developed by Europress Software, and they eventually became Clickteam. And then they came out with the Games Factory after Click and Play, which I used. And then, of course, Multimedia Fusion 1.0, which I also used. And then I think they're up to Clickteam Fusion 2.5 now.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Was some of that uptake influenced by what the Sonic community as well? Like, if I remember correctly, I want to say Retrosonic Nexus was also made in Multimedia Fusion 2.
Yeah, I think that was one of the engines. We used a heavily modified version of the Sonic Worlds engine, which was made for Fusion 2.
Interesting.
Would you say so
How are your words doing today there?
my words are not doing good.
I was gonna say, usually I'm the one that's stumbling over her tongue.
No, I'm like stumbling over my tongue. Like, I mean, I've had a very busy day. I finally got my all my antihistamines in, so
Your
very
titty
busy.
skittles,
my antibiotics, but
your tit tacs.
But so I was running around handling that. So I'm sorry if I sound mildly out of breath as well. But what? So for Unity, what made you decide to jump to Unity for FP2?
Mainly for console support in a way that we could develop in-house instead of hiring an outside party and having to rely on them for patches and updates. And also Unity has support for delta time out of the box, which makes things like slowdown effects a lot easier to pull off. And
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that point. Wow, that's really, really smart. Using Unity, are you primarily seeing yourself doing more like C# or JavaScript or any of the other languages as like a plugin? What does that look like?
Yeah, I'm using C# for programming in the SQL.
Nice.
I guess my other question as well is Freedom Planet 2's been a long time coming, and I remember a few years back I interviewed you for the one success story in my 6-part documentary series. But you mentioned having to delay Freedom Planet 1 a bit, and that being just an incredible amount of stress towards the end there.
Oh, yes.
I've noticed with Freedom Planet 2 since then that the release date is currently listed. It's out when it's out. I feel like something did anything particular prompt that?
Yeah, after my experience in the first Freedom Planet, I took on a pretty heavy anti-crunch mindset. So I'm currently doing the best I can to pace myself and make sure that I'm hiring the help that I need. But sometimes there are like certain times of the year, like tax season, which just happened, where I have to conserve the company funds. So that can cause delays on its own. And but we are making progress. It's just that the game is just like so much bigger, and like the artwork is so much more complex than the first game. That it takes a while for specific assets to be completed.
For sure. And I mean, GalaxyTrail's been involved with other games as well. Grapple Force Arena comes to mind.
Oh yes. We don't actually have a hand in what Friend and Fairy produces. We're just assisting with publishing and console ports for their games.
Was the same case with Pedal Crash?
Yes. That was a real treat, being able to witness the development of Pedal Crash from its very early conceptions, all the way up until publishing and releasing. And it was really awesome being able to showcase that at the last PAX South, seeing like live reactions. And one of the cool things that we noticed too was that Hellcrash was drawing in like a completely new type of audience compared to Freedom Planet, because like not everyone is able to do well in a fast-paced 2D action platform game like Freedom Planet. So we would get like a lot more like couples and children and stuff trying out Hellcrash, and it was really heartwarming to see.
Oh, I
That's
love
really
that.
wholesome.
Yeah.
I really love that. So I guess shifting gears slightly, we've been talking about a lot about the games you make, but let's talk about the games you play. What have you been playing lately?
Lately, I have been playing a lot of Total War. It's just like a nice chill experience.
Nice.
Very nice. What's your favorite platform?
Platform, I do a lot of PC games. I also got a PS4 within the past year. I've been enjoying that quite thoroughly, and then of course I take my Switch anywhere that I can go with me.
Right,
the Switch
right.
is so good. I love the Switch.
Uh,
What have you been playing Switch-wise?
I cat.
Oh,
Oh,
you have a cat?
yes.
Kitty.
I call her Zombie Kitty because she's 21 years old and her
Aw.
her breath smells dead.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So what's her real name?
Her name is Minion. It's spelled M-I-N N-I-N. Minion. No wait.
Love it.
Minion.
M-I-
Oh, I love it.
M-I-N-Y-I-N. Minion.
I love it. She sounds so precious.
I spelled it. I started spelling it that way because like after Despicable Me came out, people were like, "Oh, after Despicable Me," and I'm like, "No, that was way before then."
She came first. They owe you royalties.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, for God's sake, no.
I can't even take her off my desk right now because my nails are wet.
Oh
My
no.
nails
It's
dry.
okay. She's a guest host.
Yeah.
I'm here for the guest host.
I'm here for the kitty.
Just don't purr too loudly, okay?
Oh no, we appreciate that, and I will happily edit that way up in post if we catch any
Yeah.
purrs.
Okay.
We just hit the timer as well, so any final thoughts you'd like to add?
Hi, Mom.
Aw.
Aww. So with that, Jazz, do you have any further questions?
That is everything I wanted to ask. Apart from, thank you so much for coming on the show, and this was a lot of fun. Hopefully, we get to keep in contact and everything because this was great.
Yes, of
No,
course.
this was really great. And again, Sabrina, where can people find you and find GalaxyTrail in and around the internet?
Yeah, we have a Twitter account for GalaxyTrail. It's twitter.com/GalaxyTrail. And we also have a website where you can find links to all of our games that we've created and published at GalaxyTrail.com. And you can check out the Freedom Planet 2 website at freedomplanet2.com. And I have a personal Twitter at twitter.com/SDiDuro. I often just like chat about whatever I'm thinking about at the time, and I also retweet photos from my dog's Twitter account.
Oh, cute.
Aw, I love that. I didn't know your dog had a Twitter. I need to follow that. I
Yeah.
like puppies.
My doggo's Twitter is Sammy_doggo.
Oh, I'm so
Aw.
there.
Yeah.
Also, is it okay if I quickly shout out the Galaxy Trail Discord, which is a good chill place that I honestly need to hop into more?
Yes, of course. We do have an official Galaxy Trail Discord.
Excellent. And it, again, fantastic having you on. I think it says something a lot about how much I enjoy Freedom Planet, where Layla, who granted is also a friend of mine, who did a lot of the soundtrack for the Freedom Planet games, also did the theme for Speedrun.
That's awesome.
That's what I've been trying to put
Yeah.
together. That's what I've been.
It's the same.
There it is.
The same Layla.
Oh my gosh. I was like, wait a minute. From like episode 1, and now it's finally clicking. Oh my god.
Yeah, Layla and I are so in sync, like especially with like soundtrack stuff. Like I will contribute melodies, and then she'll pretty it all up and make it sound really awesome.
Like, she is brilliant, and honestly, like the sound. Look, a great platformer can be made even better by a rockin' soundtrack. And again, as I said, if you haven't, check out Freedom Planet. It's if Treasure made a Sonic game, or Gunstar Heroes, Mega Man X, and Sonic walking into a bar and somehow getting fused together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta wrap this up.
All right. Let's do it. So, with that, Speedrun is made possible in part by Podbean. We would love to see more gaming podcasts, especially from queer creators. I checked Jazzie from one of the last episodes we did.
Yeah.
We are apparently the only video game podcast that I know of that is, after extensive research, that is hosted by 2 trans women. But if no matter your background, if you would like to create a podcast on video games or any other subject you like, then look into being hosted by Podbean. You can get hosting through Podbean using our affiliate link. Help us keep those video game lights on, a la Hard for Games, by going to podbean.com/speedrun or using the code speedrun at checkout. In addition, if you have ideas for future episodes of Speedrun, then you can contact me at jamie@stuffweplay.com, Jazzie at stuffweplay.com. And if you would like episodes a week early and also other great, cool, exclusive early content, then subscribe to us via Patreon at patreon.com/stuffweplay, as we are a part of Stuff We Play. We also have a Discord, and because I was reminded again to mention it, we can be found on a variety of other podcasting platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. For some reason, I checked our analytics. We've had a huge uptake from iHeartRadio, so apparently that's
they're still alive?
Yeah, apparently it's a pretty hopping place right now. They're up to like our third biggest platform behind Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Well, how about that?
How about that?
I didn't get to add my addendum to the Podbean spot at the end of that because we've rushed past it. So listen here, kids. Here's the skinny. Are you gay like us? Do you want to say some words on the internet and probably get paid to do it eventually like we do? Then check out our Podbean affiliate link. It helps us get that money while also getting your voice out there. Boom, there it is. Podbean hired me. I make great spots.
Speaking of which, you also do audio work.
I do audio work at clevelandaudiomixology.com. That is the studio I'm a part of here in Cleveland. I don't want to take up any more time, so let's wrap it up.
All right, so with that, I have been Jamie.
I've been Jazzie.
And we have also had a Sabrina.
Yay.
Yes, and so with that, thank you very much for listening. Stay classy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.